Hi from Munich and welcome to This Is My Architecture. Today I'm joined by Thomas from Vitesco Technologies. Hi Thomas.
Hi David, thanks for having me.
Sure. Thomas, can you tell us about Vitesco Technologies?
Vitesco Technologies is a leading international developer and manufacturer of state-of-the-art powertrain technologies for sustainable mobility.
I know that Vitesco Technologies is a carve-out or a spin-off of a larger corporation, right? Can you share something about the challenges that you were faced with regarding your infrastructure in the IT?
That's right. With the spin-off, we had the challenge to separate the IT landscape of over 50 locations with more than 1,000 servers, 300 databases, and more than 300 applications in just 2 years. And that's why we have decided to build the so-called Cloud Foundation as one of the first things. The Cloud Foundation is an end-to-end automated cloud landing zone. It allows our internal users to create AWS accounts directly and very fast, while ensuring that they are configured according to our standards and AWS best practices. Since the release, we have already created 850 accounts that way.
Okay, that's quite a lot of accounts, right? And I assume there were quite some challenges you faced with regarding governance and all that. Let's dive a little bit into the architecture, and let's assume I am a user at Vitesco Technologies and I want to get an AWS account. How does the experience there look like?
The user journey begins with our self-developed web portal. Here they select the desired network configuration, additional blueprints, and put in other metadata like the development stage. This request will then be sent through an API gateway to this AWS step function. We are calling this step function the account vending machine because it holds all necessary steps to provide the final account. And one of the first steps is to create the actual account through AWS Control Tower. Since Control Tower does not provide an API at the moment, this is happening through a custom service catalog item.
Okay, I understand. I see a database here, which is a DynamoDB table, I assume. Can you share what that exactly does?
In the DynamoDB, we store all information that describe the target state of the account. So this can include user input and also other information which we can generate on the fly, like the VPC CIDR range or the account IDs. This is especially important to allow future changes and ensure the idempotency of the whole process. So no matter how often this runs, the DynamoDB always reflects the reality of the deployed accounts.
Okay, that's really interesting. You mentioned something you call blueprints at the beginning, something that users can select in the portal, right? What exactly are those and how do they play into the whole picture?
Yeah, the blueprints describe all configuration which we do in the deployed accounts. So for example, there is the IAM and the security blueprint. These are obligated. Here we are doing things like configuring the IAM identity provider, configuring the security services like Security Hub, Guard Duty, and AWS Config, as well as configuring the aggregation into the central security account. Other blueprints depend on the user selection. So for example, the network blueprints. Here, this can include VPC and subnet configuration, Route 53 setup, transit gateway attachment, and much more.
Okay, I understand. This is basically what the user selects here on the...
That's right.
Okay. And now, once all of those blueprints are rolled out, what happens next? Does the user get a notification, or how does it work?
After everything is deployed into the account and ready to go, we are notifying the user through SCS. This mail contains how to access and how to use the account, and also points out the account owner's responsibilities.
Okay. So you previously mentioned security configurations and networking configurations, right? So my question would be, what happens if you centrally want to change something? Let's assume from your cloud platform team you want to add an additional security guardrail, or you want to change a networking route in the transit gateway. Is there any way to handle that?
Yeah, that happens often. Our goal is that each change on the blueprints reaches the customer account in less than 3 hours. That's possible because every change triggers a code pipeline, and this code pipeline deploys directly into the customer accounts. And this deployment is always done with respect to the customer's development stage. So we deploy to dev accounts first, then QA accounts, and finally to prod accounts.
Okay, that's really great. I like how you have a notion of the stage in each account that you make sure that you don't cause any problems in the production accounts, right? So finally, do you want to share a bit about what you think is the coolest part about the solution?
Yeah, for me, that's really the grade of automation we achieved here. By utilizing all these managed services, we are able to operate the complete cloud foundation with a platform team of only 4 engineers. And they are still able to do further improvement of the platform and add more self-service capabilities.
Oh yeah, that's really impressive. So thanks so much, Thomas, for sharing your solution here.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching This Is My Architecture.